So this is the M2 MacBook Air, and in this day in the life video shot here in Austin, Texas, let's walk around the city a little bit and explore together, take some photos of strangers and street scenes, and then I'll show you how I use the MacBook Air M2 in my mobile workflow. So this is the base model Starlight edition of the MacBook Air M2. It's a beautiful machine with an amazing, gorgeous screen. It's super thin, really lightweight, and just really easy to take around. So it's the middle of the afternoon and I'm on the MacBook Air M2 replying to some of y'all's spicy comments. I'm also checking out Twitter a little bit, and I happened to catch this Noah Herman tweet about a new video that he collabed on about the MacBook Air M2 with Canupsi. The video looks incredible on this display and it inspired me to go out and do my own thing. So I checked the weather.
In Austin today, expect a high of 101 and a low of 76.
Climate change is real, y'all, so I choose these Y3 yohji Yamamoto Adidas collab shorts. These are my new favorite shorts that I got recently. And then I grabbed my gear bag, which is a Burton backpack made of recycled Mountain Dew bottles. Really durable. And then I grabbed the tiny but delicious A6400 from Sony as my camera for today. And because the MacBook Air M2 does not have an SD card reader, I take this dongle from Apple. And for my tripod, I'm using this Joby GorillaPod with the iPhone attachment on top. The MacBook Air M2 gets really incredible battery life, but just in case, I take this backup battery from Zendor. I like to pack as light as possible, so the MacBook Air with its really tiny frame is the perfect size laptop to take with me. By the way, this entire video was shot on the iPhone 13 Pro, and I love these new shoes by Humanrace, Adidas, and this new hat I got in Berlin. I got my water bottle here, which is insanely important. And before I go downtown, I'm going to take these old clothes down to Goodwill. So I throw them into my Tesla Model Y, which I named Pizza. It's an amazing car. Just so I didn't walk into a blazing inferno car, I started the AC remotely via the Tesla app. And I love that the A6400 can actually fit down here in this little compartment. And then I take a huge sip of water so I don't pass out from heat exhaustion. I really love the Model Y, but it gets really hot in Texas with the giant glass roof above you. After donating these clothes, I took a random second to just admire this Apple MagSafe wallet, which is so beautiful and so useful. And while I'm at Goodwill, I thought, why don't I just go around and shop a bit, look for some new shirts or pants or something. Nothing really spoke to me, so I walk outside into the apocalyptic heat, and I quickly notice that it is now 107 degrees outside apparently. So I back that thing up and I start heading to downtown Austin. And even though the Tesla is hot as hell when you first get in, it actually cools off and it's a really pleasant ride overall. I love the autopilot system, which enables me to stay in the lanes without, driving off the damn road like a fool. So I made it to downtown Austin, and this is 6th Street right here, which is kind of like the party street of downtown. And now I believe in miracles because I found a really good free parking space downtown, and I stopped to admire this beautiful Texas sky. Seriously, I don't know what it is about the sky here, but it is just freaking gorgeous. So I'm walking down the 2nd Street district where there are a bunch of like little boutiques and shops everywhere. This one shop caught my eye because of their shoe collection, and I found these really cool Adidas. I didn't end up getting them, but I thought they were really cool. Also, these Nikes caught my eye, and I really appreciate all these brands using recycled materials in their clothes now. So I love a good neon sign, and I found this store called Mugsy, which has only been open for a month. They had a lot of cool jeans and shirts, and this really nice person here helped me out who actually let me photograph him, and I'll show you those photographs in a little bit. I tried on this sweatshirt with a little Texas embroidery on there, and I couldn't resist picking up this sweatshirt that had a hat on it. I just thought that was so Texas and kind of hilarious. And Mugsy also hooked me up with some swag, so shout out to Mugsy. So I continue my journey on the streets looking for stuff to photograph, and I'm making this face right now because this car almost hit me. And as I'm walking out on this beautiful day, I realized that my throat was getting kind of dry and I was getting a little bit hungry, so I stopped to get a little snack consisting of one of those RX bars and some sparkling water. The snack bar was a big mistake because not only does it look like tree bark, but it also tasted like it. I started to check out the photos I had taken so far on the A6400, and then I realized, oh yeah, I have a MacBook Air M2. So I take the MacBook Air out of my bag and set it up, and this is the first time I'm actually trying it out in daylight, and I will say that this screen is nice and bright, easy to see even in the shade in bright Texas sun. So I imported the new photos that I took so far into Adobe Lightroom, and they look really nice. Like the screen just looks really nice. The colors are really accurate with the P3 wide color gamut. I started to do some basic edits and just really admire how nice this display looks. I'm also really impressed by the performance of the M2 chip. Even on this base model, it handles Lightroom like a dream. So after my short break, I decided to walk around a little more in the 4th Street area, which has a lot of really cool dance clubs and gay bars and stuff. This area, unfortunately, is about to be bulldozed like a lot of stuff in Austin, so it's definitely kind of bittersweet walking around this area knowing it's about to change drastically. But it's still a really vibrant area that I love to photograph. Austin is definitely changing a lot right now, and there's tons of construction like everywhere. So after taking some more photos and walking around some more, I decided to stop at this park bench and whip out the MacBook Air M2 again to import some photos and do some photo editing. And while I was over there in the 4th Street district, I took this portrait of a stranger, and it's really cool and a really fun challenge to take photos of strangers. It definitely feels like I'm stepping out of my comfort zone, but I like a good challenge, and it's really fun to just have these really cool connections with people. The Sony a6400 is such an underrated camera, by the way. It's still so amazing. And because the camera is so small, I feel like it's less intimidating when you're trying to do street photography or just photograph people you don't know. So it's starting to get a little darker outside. We're kind of losing the magic hour glow. I've also been walking around sweating my buns off like all day, so I'm starting to get a little tired, and I decide to start heading back towards the car. I'm definitely getting my steps in today, trying to close all my rings downtown. And I happened to catch this incredible sunset, and like I said, Texas skies, there's just something different and magical and mysterious about them. Let's just check this beauty out for a second. So I made it back to my lucky as hell parking space, and I start heading home and take another glance at this beautiful sunset, this time over the University of Texas at Austin, and check out all these bats flying out from underneath this bridge. This is a really cool phenomenon that happens in this area of Texas. So I made it home, and then I was greeted by my lovely dogs. Look at these little cuties. I am so obsessed with these dogs. So after a long day of shooting and walking in the heat, I am back in my studio, and I open up the M2 MacBook Air to import the rest of the photos that I took into Lightroom, and then I do some light photo editing and some reflecting on how the day went, because it was a really fun day. But then I suddenly realize, y'all, I am tired as hell. It's been such a fun and stimulating day, but I think I'm all out of batteries, y'all. I think it's time for bed.